Good afternoon, graduates, family members, friends, and distinguished guests. I want to welcome you to today's graduation ceremony of Civilian Leadership Institute Class number 3. My name is Joe Levy. I'm a retired commander from the Long Beach Police Department and president of Embassy Consulting Services. Embassy Consulting was created by my wife and I, and we specialize in working with public safety, schools, municipalities, private organizations to help them build and maintain safe, respectful, and inclusive communities. Civilian Leadership Institute was created to help fill a void and an unmet need, specifically for civilian public safety employees who are supervisors, managers, or aspiring to promote into those positions. The goal of Civilian Leadership Institute is to provide participants with the opportunity to develop skills and strategies to become engaging and effective leaders in their respective organizations. Today's celebration culminates the completion of 5 months of leadership training that explored a wide variety of contemporary leadership topics that included human relations, leadership styles, leadership pitfalls, emotional intelligence, effective communication, ethical decision-making, conflict resolution, and wellness. We're proud to recognize today's civilian leaders who entered this program eager to learn, quick to bond, and motivated to bring more value to their coworkers and their departments. I want to thank each and every leader graduating today, as well as their family members and colleagues who supported their efforts on this long 5-month journey. I also want to convey my deepest gratitude to all the law enforcement leaders who invested and supported these men and women by recognizing and understanding the value that civilian employees bring to their agency. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Charlie Solano, the person who had and created the CLI vision. Charlie.
Thank you, Joe. Hey, congratulations, Class 3. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah, good job, good job. Today is a day of celebration, and do we not need celebration these days, right? This is what we need, right? It's really a day of joy and happiness for all of us. Thank you so much, Joe, for your comments. And my name is Charlie Solano. I'm a retired police chief from the Tustin Police Department. Spent 27 years there, and it was a wonderful career. But a few years ago, I did have a vision, a dream of sorts, to create a program like this. And to see that vision, that dream, after a cup of coffee with Joe a few years ago, become this reality with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears from Joe and Jillian and our staff and Derek and Lisa, Joe's wife, it has become a reality. And to see it become a reality is amazing. Now we're in Class 3, and this program has momentum, and it's going to keep going, hopefully for a long time. What makes CLI special is not Joe or I. What makes CLI special are the leaders you see on either side of me, because they make this program what it is. The experience they bring, the perspectives they bring, their passion they bring into the program, it makes it what it is. And so I'm just proud to be a part of it, and I'm proud of each and every one of you guys. Thank you also to the command staff members out there, the chiefs, for investing those resources in these leaders, because a lot of times that doesn't happen. So I really appreciate that. And also I want to thank the family members and the loved ones for the gift of your loved one's time, because it's hard. You have to pick up the slack when they're not there for 2 days out of the month over the last 5 months. And you did that, and you made that sacrifice. And for that, I'm very thankful. So congratulations to Class 3, and it is now my honor to get to the highlight of the program, which are the student speakers. So our first student speaker is Alexis Tavera from the Pasadena Police Department. Alexa.
Hello. First, I would like to thank CLI Class 3 as well as Joe and Charlie for allowing me this opportunity to speak today. I am truly honored. 5 months ago, the 15 of us came together not knowing what to expect. It was the middle of an unprecedented pandemic and one of the most controversial times law enforcement has experienced in the last 30 years. Nonetheless, 15 leaders came together, bringing a combined 275 years of law enforcement experience. We brought different perspectives, life experiences, and knowledge bases, but no matter where we came from, we all had one common goal: to develop skills and strategies to become engaging and effective leaders in our organization. Personally, CLI has changed my views of leadership immensely. I've learned so much about who I am as a leader and who I want to be for my organization. Leadership is a perishable skill. And beyond that, leadership is a choice that each and every one of us choose to make every single day. Oftentimes, organizational success is attributed to the decisions of senior executives, but this class reminded me that we all, no matter sworn or civilian, whether a civilian services bureau manager or an animal services supervisor, she hates coyotes, by the way, we all bring perspectives that are invaluable to each and every one of our agencies and to public safety as a whole. Times are changing. Now more than ever, civilians are guiding law enforcement agencies to new heights and milestones. We have a unique skill set that is vital to our sworn counterparts. Beyond all else, this class has made me acknowledge my why. Recognizing my passion, purpose, and mission in life has made me into a better, more confident leader and member of my agency. This change on perspective has led me to wake up every single day inspired to go to work and come home every single night fulfilled by the work that I do. I thank my classmates and Joe and Charlie for pushing me each month to be better. Each and every member of this class has brought new perspectives and experiences to my life, both personally and professionally. This class has given me lifelong contacts and friendships that are invaluable to me. So thank you again, Joe and Charlie, and thank you to my classmates. I am forever grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Alexis. Right. Next up, from the Daly City Police Department, we have Joyce Gregorio.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank Joe and Charlie for giving me the opportunity to speak this afternoon. On the first day of class, I was really nervous. I saw all of you sitting in pairs already talking like you've known each other for years. Then I saw my name tag at the front of the room, alone, no partner, until I met Sonia, the only other Northern Californian. She didn't know it yet, but she was going to be my friend. When Charlie and Joe asked everyone in the room to introduce themselves, not only was I nervous that I would stumble on my words, but I was truly intimidated by your fancy titles, your wealth of experience, and your hundreds of years of service. But what I learned right away, and pardon the cliche, is that we're all in the same boat, just in different geographic locations and different sized agencies. We all experience the same pride in our work, face similar challenges, and revel in each other's successes. Graduating doesn't mean that I've learned everything there is to know about leadership. Turns out this course gave me some very important management supervision on social awareness, self-awareness, and self-care. I want to be a good supervisor, but I really want to be an effective leader. Leadership is hard. We all know people that are natural-born leaders with personality and charisma, but I've come to realize that it is a skill that is learned and earned with experience, education, and mentorship. I want to be that adaptive leader who can match situation, person, or group being led. Came right out of lesson 2. I am continually learning to manage and control my emotions so I can make rational decisions, respond, not react. I'm working on becoming an effective communicator. My intent is clear, my message is understood, and that I model the behavior that I expect. Attitudes are contagious. And I want to build that highly effective team. Thank you, Dr. Bruce Tuckman, for identifying the 4 stages of team development, 5 when we count adjournment. Although my team performs, it doesn't mean that we don't have storms. I know it is my job to maintain a positive climate. I also learned that procrastination is a result of anxiety and fear of failure. I'll be working on that too. Dr. Heather Williams said something like, be the kind of leader you want to follow. I am very fortunate to have a mentor, someone who is invested in my success, provides honest feedback, and the guts to give me tough guidance. Jacob Green called that person your Thunder Buddy, not to be confused with Ted, the talking bear. And I am eager to learn, and I will hustle. I want to thank my Daly City PD family, Chief Hensley, Captain Gomez, Captain Christensen, for giving me this opportunity and trusting me to lead the records unit. You've been tremendous mentors. I want to thank my records team for supporting and challenging me every day. I respect your diversity, and I will give you a safe place where you can share your ideas and concerns. And I wouldn't be here if I didn't have the support of my family and friends at home. You are my whys. Thank you so much. I am especially thankful for sharing this experience with all of you, my classmates, my network, my friends, the cool kids. So don't be surprised if you get an email from me with questions like, how do you do this? Or what am I supposed to do with that? You are all outstanding and incredible people. I have learned something from each one of you. And to our friend Joe Horton, you are in our thoughts and in our prayers. If you take nothing else from this class, remember, when all else fails, wait the bastard out, and don't be a Ramona. Be kind to yourselves. Don't let anyone steal your joy. And thank you for bringing out the best in me.
Wow, you actually learned a lot in this class. That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Joyce. Okay, so last but not least, we are going to have our representative from Animal Services up here as our 3rd student speaker from the Irvine Police Department. Give it up for Hope Darrow.
Thank you. That's very nice. What you might not know is I'm actually only up here to introduce our next speaker, Andrew Warm. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak today. Thank you, Joe and Charlie. This has been a tremendous experience. Thank you to everybody at my department who believed in me and recommended that I come to this class and making sure I got here. This has been great. One of the reasons I think I was apprehensive about being one that raised my hand to give a speech first is because I didn't want to get up here and not give this class justice. I didn't want to miss something that we had learned. Whether it's the educational part or just how far we've come. I mean, like Joyce mentioned, look at the first day we were here. We were all in our masks, we were at our tables, we were looking at each other going, keep your distance, everything else. Nobody wanted to speak. And then we started opening up. We started, the vaccine started rolling out. So that was nice. We started being able to get a little closer to each other. We started laughing. We started sharing stories. We started letting each other into our lives, not only professionally, but personally. And that made it really easy for me because you guys know I like to talk. So, and honestly, and not to take away from any of the other trainings I've been to, but I really wish I had had this class sooner. I've been a supervisor for about 3 years now, and my predecessor was amazing, and I did learn a lot from her. But when I promoted to this job, it was just kind of, here you go. And nobody really taught me what to do. I didn't know how to lead. I got my team. I thought, oh, they're formed, so they should know how to perform, right? But what I didn't take into consideration was everything that had happened while I was going through my promotion. Our supervisor left very abruptly. One of our other officers left to go to patrol, and another officer left to go to the city side, which left me, who was now supposed to be the civilian, still working in the field, 2 other officers, and then one of them broke their toe. So, so we were doing all kinds of storming that I thought was my fault. I thought my team was falling apart. I didn't know that that was just part of the building process. So that was one of the biggest things when you started talking about that. I was like, oh, that's how we were growing. We were butting heads a little bit, but that storming was what we needed. I shouldn't have expected my team to just perform right away. I shouldn't have expected them to know what I expected from them without having those risky conversations, which you're absolutely right when you say you can get the most out of those risky conversations. I've started having those with my staff, and boy, it's really opened a lot of doors, and I'm really happy for that. I've started pushing my staff out of their comfort zone, which they didn't really like at first, but they've definitely, I think they're starting to see it and start appreciating it now. In fact, now every time I push them to do something they don't normally do, it's, oh great, CLI rears its ugly head again. But I think they're learning a lot from it, and I think they're bonding over things that they didn't bond over before, and I think that's creating a stronger team. One of the hardest things at the end of the day for me to take away from this was the self-care. I've never been good at self-care, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've always put other people ahead of me because I thought, as a supervisor, as a friend, as a parent, that that's what I was supposed to do. Your speech yesterday really moved me as to how important it is for me to take care of myself. And to be absolutely honest with you guys, in the turmoil of all this and trying to figure out what I was doing, I had forgotten my why. I had lost my why. And I thank you all for helping me find that. I had forgotten why I got into this line of work and why I was passionate about it. So since this is a civilian leadership class, I just wanted to end this speech with an example of how incredibly amazing I think all of you are, and how wonderful I think you are, and how no department out there could do their jobs without the strength of their civilians. And I'm going to share this, and this is where I might need you, John. I'm going to share something a little personal that some of you know a little bit about. Most of you know that my mother-in-law was a survivor of the Seal Beach shooting about 10 years ago at Solano. What people don't know that day is that my mother-in-law didn't survive that day because she had a room where she could lock the door. And she didn't survive that day because she had a table to turn over and hide behind with 2 other women. She had those things. But what she also had, sorry, I said I wouldn't do this. What she also had was a really good friend banging on the other side of that door, begging to be let in. And so she picked up the phone and she called 911. And a professional staff person told her not to unlock the door. And a non-sworn person kept her safe and told her what to do. And because of a civilian, my little girl still has her grandma. So I thank you all for what you do. Please don't ever think it's not as important, because it is.
Wow. Well, I don't know if you could tell, but Hope doesn't like to speak publicly. You would never be able to tell that, would you? Amazing. You have a gift, and you definitely have a future in speaking publicly. But the reason that was so good is because you spoke from the heart, right? And that's what all of you do. And so thank you so much. Thank you to all the speakers. That was amazing. All right. So now is the time that they've been waiting for the last 5 months. 5 months of hard work, 5 months of reading books, 5 months of breakout sessions, 5 months of guest speakers, and a lot of conversation, and a lot of laughs, and a lot of tears. And so this is very well deserved by all of our graduates. So we're graduating 15 strong today. You see 14 people in front of you, but one of our graduates couldn't be with us today. Joe Horton from the Newport Beach Police Department. You heard one of our speakers mention. Joe, we are thinking about you, brother. You are just as much deserving as the rest of your classmates. So we will see you again for sure. All right, first up from the Buena Park Police Department, please help me in congratulating Christina Mendevel. All right, next up from the Daly City Police Department, Joyce Gregorio. Next up from the Fontana Police Department, Michelle Blank. Next up from the Irvine Police Department, Lindsay Crawford. And once again from the Irvine Police Department, Hope Darrow. Getting your steps in, Joe. From the Laguna Beach Police Department, Natasha Hernandez. And from the Ontario Police Department, Lizeth Zazueta. Next up, from the Pasadena Police Department, Luis Anaya. Also from the Pasadena Police Department, Alexis Tavera. From the Pomona Police Department, Andrew Warm. From the Torrance Police Department, John Newman. Newly promoted John Newman. Congratulations, John. From the Santa Ana Police Department, Jessica Durham. From the Tustin Police Department, Kristen Federling. And last but not least, from the Union City Police Department, Sonia Vera. Let's give all of our graduates a big round of applause. So congratulations once again to all CLI 3 graduates. I'm so very proud of you. Remember that I will always be a resource to you, as will Joe. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to President of Embassy Consulting for some closing comments.
All right, so on behalf of the Embassy CLI team, I'd like to thank all of you for viewing today's graduation ceremony. We look forward to hearing about all the great things that these leaders will be doing in their organizations. Really looking forward to it. This concludes today's ceremony. Once again, thank you all very much, and let's give our graduates another round of applause. Thank you.